Welcome back, y'all. We are here for session number 2. Where's the fruit? Where's the fruit? We talked all about what is the fruit in our life, and I challenged you guys to take a look at the fruit in your own lives and to really examine your heart and check your heart and to see, if you're telling people you're an apple, are you truly giving the fruit of an apple that is sweet and refreshing, or are you giving the fruit of a lemon? And so, okay, great, we have that challenge, but then now what? Right? Maybe Sam, I realized that maybe my fruit needs some adjusting. Well, you're in luck, because today we're going to talk all about growing our fruit. And so there's going to be 5 things that we focus on. And just like a farmer, when they go out to plant their seed, when they go out to monitor and grow their crops, and when they focus on growth, there are 5 things that they focus on. Number 1, numero uno, is going to be the soil. And in this case, with this analogy, the soil is the condition of our heart. What is our heart like? It's one thing to hear God, and it's another thing to actually receive God and receive the word and get in the word. And so when we talk about soil, that just means, where's our heart? Is it in it? Is it out of it? Mark 4:3-20 is the parable of the sower. And it talks about how when you go to sow seed, he talks about the different places where you can sow it. Our life is the same thing. You can have hard soil. You can have a hard heart where you hear the word of God, but then it just falls off. You don't do anything with it. So then you have the rocky ground, right? That's the ground where the seed may fall in it, the word of God may fall on it, but it's super shallow. It doesn't go anywhere. There's not any room for the roots to absorb into the soil and really take hold of anything, so that when the sun comes, it scorches the plant right up. When water comes, it just carries the seed right on away and nothing takes hold. Or there's the ground that Jesus talks about in Mark 4. That's the thorns. And the thorns end up choking out the word of God. And that's very possible with today and in our own world. What in your heart chokes out the word of God? What in your heart chokes out the voice of God? Social media, maybe friends that aren't so great, maybe the music that you listen to. And so that first thing that we talk about is, where's your heart? Is it in a spot where your heart can grow and process that word of God? Or is it hard ground, rocky ground with thorns? So that's the first one, soil. The second one is seed. So farmers talk about the soil where they're going to put it, but then they also have to talk about the seed. And the seed is the word of God. That's our Bible. It is one thing for a farmer to have a barn full of seeds, but if they just sit in the barn, the seeds do him no good. They make him no money. He gets no harvest. He gets no yield from it. The same is true with the word of God. If we don't apply it to our life, if we don't use it, nothing comes of it, right? You have to apply it. James 1:22-25 says, you can't just be a hearer of the word. You can't just listen. You actually have to do it. In order to see the fruit of God in your life, you have to do what the word says, and you have to get the word in you. Third thing, water. Okay, every plant needs water. Every fruit needs water. Every seed has to have water. And when we talk about this analogy of the fruit growing in our own hearts, water is prayer. I know you're like, Sam, I don't know how to pray. I don't know where to start. But it's actually really easy. And a lot of times we get stuck in this mindset that prayer is just this drive-by where we give God our list of things that we need him to do, or things that we need him to fix, or people that we're concerned about, and we leave. Prayer is not just that we can talk to God, but it's also so God can talk to us. That's how we get our blueprints for our life. That's how we get the plans for our life. That's how we get to know who he is. You can't have a relationship with God without having prayer, because that's where you get to know his character. That's where you get to know him. Think of a good friendship. Any good friendship that you have, you spend time talking to that person. You spend time getting to know that person. Same thing is true with God. You can't get to know him without praying to him and talking to him. And then our fourth one is fertilizer, or the supplements or the nutrients that the farmers will put on their crops. Those are there to intentionally make the fruit, make the seed stronger, and to make it healthier. You have those same things in your own life. Your friends, your youth group, the activities that you do after school or in school, the music that you listen to, the movies that you watch, all of those things are either going to grow your fruit or squash your fruit. If you're around positive friends that affirm the things of God and encourage you to be who God created you to be and have the same morals and the same values, and you surround yourself with those types of people, and the activities that you do, the music that you listen to, what you constantly put in you is going to be what comes out of you. And so what do you put in you to help you grow? Fifth thing, and it's going to be super cheesy, but every plant, every fruit, every seed has to have sunlight. And you guessed it, sunlight is Jesus. We can't have good fruit unless we spend time with God. We can't have good fruit unless we have God in our lives and an active part in our lives. Because let's face it, without those 5 things, there's no chance that we're going to be able to continuously give people an apple. Think back to that experiment that I did with Jesse. I set him up to taste apple juice. I set him up to get a drink of something refreshing and something sweet, when in reality I tricked him and he thought he was going to get the apple, but he got the lemon juice. Is that what you're doing in your own life? Is that what you're setting people up for in your own life? What kind of fruit is coming out of you? Okay, so I hope this word blessed you. I hope it challenges you. We'll see you next week.